Drew Barrymore is Hollywood royalty. She started working when she was only 5 years old and catapulted to fame very fast. She's now considered among the nicest and most beloved celebrities there is. But even though it seems that way, not everybody loves her, and she has some feuds with other celebrities. So let's get into the celebrities who tried to warn us about Drew Barrymore. First up, Winona Ryder. We're not sure if this one is true, but tabloid site Gossip Cop revealed that secretly Drew Barrymore hates Winona and refuses to have Winona on her daytime show. The reason for this big feud is none other than relationship drama with Tom Green, Barrymore's ex-husband. Tom Green and Drew had a short marriage that ended in 2002. But even though they were split up, Drew was reportedly furious when Green and Ryder started up a fling in 2008. Sources say Green and Ryder never confirmed their relationship, but it was a well-kept secret among celebrities. According to the report, the two women have been at odds since the 1990s when they were vying for the same roles in films. And since they were never really friends in the first place, Barrymore does not feel like she needs to invite Winona on her show. The source revealed that Drew's team knows not even to bring up Winona as a possibility when guests are needed for the show, because Drew would never be able to pretend that she liked her. According to an article, quote, "This incident added to the disagreement between Drew and Winona, which has existed for the majority of their lives." Next up, Ellen DeGeneres. Ellen DeGeneres has been exposed for being very different from her persona as the nice lady of daytime TV. And shockingly, her and Drew Barrymore got in a major feud, which is interesting because Drew is also universally known as nice. It's been rumored that this feud started way back when they were co-producing a show together, and they've been on the rocks ever since, as one source told In Touch Weekly in 2017. The women joined forces for NBC reality show First Dates, looking like more of a docu-series than a traditional reality show. The summary of the show said it's a, quote, groundbreaking series that explored all of the simple wonders of a first date. No competition, no eliminations, just a first date. Where it goes from there, it's up to you. DeGeneres signed on as the show's executive director, and Barrymore agreed to narrate the series. But almost immediately the pair butted heads, and neither star wanted to make any compromises. A source said, quote, "Ellen expected to be the one calling the shots, but Drew thinks she should have creative control because she's the movie star that people are turning in to see." The source hinted that Drew was the one overstepping, as executives always take precedent over the stars. In the end, the show only lasted one season, so clearly there were issues that needed resolving. The real question here is who was in the wrong? We know that Ellen was mean to her employees and everyday people, but no other celebrity has said a bad word about her, while everyone seems to say nice things about Drew. Barrymore is even thought to be, quote, one of the sweetest, most down-to-earth stars around, according to Bustle, who included the actress in their list of the absolute nicest celebrities in showbiz. I guess we might never know the true story behind this one. Next up, Kelly Clarkson. Kelly Clarkson is another A-list star that Drew has allegedly feuded with. If you don't already know, both 90s icons now have daytime talk shows, and that has created some tension between them. Apparently, after Drew decided to start up her daytime show, she enlisted the help of some of her A-list friends to help her score the top rating spot. Apparently, Drew asked her friends to not go on Kelly's show and instead to be exclusive to Drew. Inside sources told the outlet that the ET actress is the favorite host among celebrities. Once Ellen officially steps down and Kelly takes her time slot, things will get really competitive. Drew's A-list friends are seriously old school about this stuff, and they're going to band together to give her all the support she needs. This source also claimed that these A-list friends include Cameron Diaz, Reese Witherspoon, and Hugh Grant. The source added, quote, "Drew's got a ton of loyalty in the movie industry her rival will never have. She's got the whole of Hollywood on her contact list." The source said that Kelly's lineup of guests is interesting, but not to the level that Drew can pull. Everyone's waiting for Ellen to leave, but people are placing their bets on Drew, and they think she'll be the ratings grabber. Currently in the ratings war, Kelly is the winner, and Clarkson is set to take Ellen's coveted spot when Ellen's show ends next season. But Barrymore's ratings are climbing, so who knows what the future might hold. Jade Barrymore. A lot has been said about Jade Barrymore, and honestly, not a lot of it is good. It's been reported that after Drew got addicted to substances when she was a Hollywood child star, her mother did nothing to stop it, and even encouraged the behavior by taking her to Studio 54. But when she was only 13, Jade decided Drew needed a serious wake-up call, and forced her to stay in treatment programs to set her straight. After Drew moved out of her mother's house, started partying out of control, and got in a life-threatening car crash, Drew's mom knew she needed to do something. Although Drew does not blame her mother now, she knows the decision to put her in treatment probably saved her life. When speaking about the treatment, Drew said, quote, "I was in a place for a year and a half called Van Nuys Psychiatric, and you don't mess around in there, and if you did, you would get thrown either in a padded room or get put in stretcher restraints and tied up." Drew admitted that since she started making money so young, she had tons of money and fame to use to her advantage. At the time, she was not going to school, sneaking out to clubs, and stealing her mom's car. Drew exposed that she was in this treatment center for 6 to 8 months. During the first 6, she said she was incredibly angry about the whole situation, but now she knows it was the best move. Drew added, quote, "I think after, 30 years of therapy and a lot of soul searching and having kids myself, I think she created a monster. She probably felt like she had nowhere to turn. And I'm sure she lived with a lot of guilt for years about creating the monster, but then I think she lived in a lot of pain, and I also wouldn't talk to her for a long time." Steven Spielberg. If you didn't already know, legendary director Steven Spielberg is the godparent of Drew. Since Drew did not grow up with her father in her life, Spielberg was a huge father figure. Drew even said he was the first person in her life to truly care about her. And of course, he did not always agree with her choices, specifically when she was spinning out of control in her teen years. When Drew was 19, she posed nude for the January 1995 issue of Playboy. In response to the images, Spielberg sent Drew a message that she would never forget. For her 20th birthday, Spielberg reportedly sent her the photos, photoshopped to show her wearing clothes in them. He also sent her a quilt. Along with the goods was a note that read, quote, "Cover yourself up." Clearly a message that Drew took to heart and held her accountable for her actions at that time. But thankfully, the two are on great terms today and still see each other often. While he was doing an interview on her show, Spielberg said, quote, "I've always cared about you ever since the first time this little blonde hurricane walked into an audition in my office and took us by storm, and then soon took the entire world by storm. This was you then, and this is you today." Barrymore explained how important it is to her to always make Spielberg proud. Quote, "I always thought every time I was doing something good or right, I would always think about how you would think or feel about it because I loved making you proud," she said to Spielberg. And finally, Drew Barrymore herself. Drew Barrymore has been more open than anyone about her regrettable past, and she's done a lot of work to improve her life and image. In her memoir called Wildflower, Drew spoke about some of the worst experiences of her life. At one point, she was so out of control, she said she was, quote, "hungry for anarchy." She told a story about befriending a rock band at a hotel, and after the show, while the group was drunk, they decided to raid the hotel and throw people's luggage over the balcony, randomly stealing people's hanging laundry bags off their doors while screaming through the hallways, revealing, quote, "In an effort to take this crazy stunt higher, we found a bunch of open doors as people were partying in the hotel, and we threw their clothes off the balconies. She was having a great time until she saw that some of the clothes fell into a river and sank in the water. She started throwing a pair of sandals from a balcony, and that's when she felt a lot of regret, wondering what the person would wear on their feet now." Writing in the book, quote, "I knew immediately this was so wrong and I hated myself." She added that she wound up in her room scolding herself and vowed to never F anyone over like that again. And as a result of that night, Drew thinks she is cursed with karma because she is well known for always losing her clothes. Priyanka Chopra Jonas is one of those celebrities that people seem to hate for no reason. But maybe there is a reason after all, because other celebrities have tried to warn us about her shady behavior in the past. Let's get into this list. First up, we got Meghan Markle. Meghan Markle is one of Priyanka's best friends. Many were shocked to see Chopra at Markle's wedding to Prince Harry, but anyone that knew their past would know the ladies had been friends for years. However, there were rumors that their relationship had soured after the ladies started missing each other's big events. It started after Markle did not attend Chopra's wedding to Nick Jonas in India. Reportedly, Priyanka was so hurt by this, she decided not to attend Markle's New York City baby shower. Page 6 reported that Priyanka wanted an apology from Meghan and felt that she, quote, "didn't respect their friendship." Both women denied the feud rumors, and sources later said that Priyanka did not attend because she had prior work commitments, which Meghan was aware of. After the feud rumors got too big to ignore, a source told E! That they are perfectly fine. Quote, "All the rumors that Priyanka and Meghan aren't friends anymore are totally not true. Priyanka and Meghan are still very close friends and they talk frequently. Meghan confides in Priyanka about the adjustments she's had to make with being a royal." Adding, quote, "Just because Priyanka didn't go to the shower or that Meghan couldn't come to her weddings doesn't mean anything about their friendship. They're still very close friends, and Meghan considers Priyanka one of her closest confidants." Priyanka echoed these statements herself during an appearance on Watch What Happens Live. A fan called in and asked, quote, "Priyanka, are the rumors true that you were upset that Meghan Markle skipped your wedding to Nick Jonas?" Host Andy Cohen stirred the pot further, adding, quote, "They said you didn't go to her baby shower because you were mad at her." Priyanka laughed off the feud, saying, quote, "Oh my god, no, it's not true." Next up, Ayesha Malik. Other than her acting talents, Priyanka is known for being very engaged in social issues. She was even named the UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador because of how often she uses her platform for good. But while at a beauty event in 2019, Ayesha Malik put a huge stain on Priyanka's reputation. question when she asked Priyanka to comment on problematic social media posts, specifically her feelings about India and Pakistan's strained relationship. Earlier that year, Priyanka tweeted, quote, "Jai Hind," which loosely translates to "Hail India." The slogan was accompanied by a hashtag Indian Army, which may have alluded to Indian fighter jets bombing a militant training camp in Pakistan. This tweet got tons of backlash, with some claiming the tweet meant she was pushing for war between India and Pakistan. Malik then asked Chopra how she could speak about peace and love at this event, but tweet problematic things about world issues, asking, quote, "You are UNICEF ambassador for peace and you're encouraging nuclear war against Pakistan." Before Malik could continue with her question, the mic was pulled away from her and Priyanka responded, quote, "I hear you whenever you're done venting. Got it? Okay, cool." Chopra then told the woman, quote, "Don't yell, don't embarrass yourself." It was really rude and showed just how little Priyanka cared about listening to her fans. Later in an interview with Gulf News, Malik said, quote, "What sparked me to say this was after she tweeted Jai Hind on February 26th, there was radio silence from her. All the Bollywood actors were saying Jai Hind too. The thing between her and other Bollywood actors is that Priyanka is international. She is Miss Jonas. She's more than just a Bollywood actress. Therefore, I was more frustrated with her than the other Bollywood actors." Malik claimed that she had no intention to get famous from the incident, and had it been her intention, she would have been more eloquent with her question. Ayesha also said that she was, quote, "disappointed with Priyanka's answer," saying that she was clearly forced to respond on the spot without her usual team of PR experts. Priyanka made no further comment on the matter. Next up, Danielle Jonas. Danielle Jonas, who's been married to eldest Jonas brother Kevin for years now, has been rumored to hate new sister-in-law Priyanka. There's been little digs that the sisters have thrown out against each other over the years, but neither of them had said anything until Danielle decided to comment on these rumors. The feud rumor started when Danielle did not attend Priyanka's bachelorette party. She claimed that she couldn't attend because she was moving. Things got worse after she wished Sophie Turner a happy birthday. The whole story began with an Instagram post. It was Sophie Turner's birthday, who is another one of the Jonas brothers' wives. She's married to Joe Jonas. So Danielle wanted to be nice to her sister-in-law and posted a few photos of them together on Instagram, along with the caption, quote, "My girls and I are so blessed to have you in our lives. They can't get enough of their Aunt Sophie. You deserve the world and I hope you're having an amazing birthday." In the comments, some users wrote, quote, "The low-key shade in this though. I love sassy Danny." To which another replied, "I read it the same way. Shade against Priyanka, right?" But Danielle decided to squash the beef rumors quickly, responding to that comment writing, quote, "Nope, no shade about Priyanka. It's just Sophie's birthday, so I wanted to say happy birthday. I think everyone should stop with thinking that we don't like Priyanka. She is lovely. I am so over people trying to make a problem." So it seems like this is case closed, right? Well, not quite. Fans think Priyanka has also been shady towards Danielle in the past. Most notably, Priyanka often refers to Sophie as her J sister, but she's never given Danielle this nickname. Interestingly, however, Danielle was one of the bridesmaids at Priyanka's wedding with Nick Jonas. So I guess it's up to you guys to decide what you think. Akshay Kumar. It's been widely rumored that Priyanka was blacklisted from appearing in Bollywood projects because she's had multiple affairs with married men. The first married man is Akshay Kumar. It's been rumored that while Akshay and his wife Twinkle were dining at a restaurant, they had a huge fight about his affair with Priyanka. Someone who was at this restaurant told the tabloids what happened. They said, quote, "The fight happened in full public view as both Akshay and Twinkle screamed at each other. One got the distinct impression that he had admitted to having an affair with Priyanka Chopra." Since then, it's been rumored that Twinkle forbid Akshay from ever working with Priyanka ever again. The pair had starred in multiple movies together, each time his wife was getting more suspicious of Priyanka. Priyanka and his wife Twinkle even had a fight of their own. It was reported that they screamed at one another over the phone, and it got so bad that Twinkle went to set to confront Priyanka. When she was not there, Twinkle instead confronted her husband, and the pair had a huge fight on set in front of the cast and crew. Reportedly the next day, Akshay issued an official statement claiming that he will not accept any work alongside Priyanka. Since then, they have not starred in any movies together. And finally, Priyanka Chopra herself. There is something about Priyanka that really rubs people the wrong way, and it's not hard to find people openly trashing the star on social media. One case that got her a ton of backlash was when she appeared on the cover of Condé Nast Traveler in 2016 and was wearing a shirt that raised a lot of eyebrows. BBC reported, quote, "The top has the words migrant, refugee, and outsider crossed out, while the word traveler stands out," which was not only confusing but really tone deaf. After fans started to attack Chopra for wearing the shirt, she responded, quote, "I'm really apologetic about the fact that so many sentiments were hurt. I'm someone who always stands for no labels. I was very affected and felt really horrible." She added that she wanted the magazine to tackle xenophobia, which is a big issue in regards to a lot of these labels. When asked why they included the phrase traveler, Condé Nast claimed that they wanted to be ambiguous about people moving in or out. Whether it's by choice or not by choice, you're still traveling. This is obviously not true, and refugees are fleeing their home countries because it's not safe, not because they just want to travel. That's not all. She's had a reputation for not being subtle about her accomplishments in the past, and many fans think she brags about herself any chance that she gets. Speaking with the Daily Beast in 2019, Chopra was speaking about her background and said, quote, "I come from a very academic family. I was very academically inclined when I was 17. I didn't really think the profession of glamour was a real profession, because everyone in my family was academic. But it changed by fluke when I won Miss India." At first you think that's an endearing story, but if you really listen to her comments, she included not one but two brags about how great she is. Not only did it come across as out of touch, she also bashed people in the entertainment industry by claiming she didn't think it was a real profession. This is just one of many times fans think she was arrogant in an interview.
Stranger Things Season 4 is fast approaching and is set to drop on Netflix on May 27th, 2022, with the second half dropping on July 1st, 2022. Are you all excited? Are you a fan of Stranger Things? Let me know in the comments below. With that being said, you must love Eleven, played by Millie Bobby Brown. Many have said that Millie is an amazing actress and very mature for her age, while others think the exact opposite. Today, we'll be looking at celebrities who aren't too fond of Millie Bobby Brown. Starting off this countdown, we have the tabloids. According to a number of big news tabloids, Millie Bobby Brown has actually changed a lot because of her success with Stranger Things. There's a side of her that we don't get to see, but they do when conducting interviews. One source revealed, and I quote, "Brown was cool, aloof, and downright rude during promotional events for season 3 of Stranger Things. So much so that her publicist had to give her a little lesson in how to deal with media and fans." Well then, that's pretty awkward. Coming in at number 9, we have David Harbour. The bond that Millie's character Eleven and David Harbour's character Jim Hopper have on screen is incredibly beautiful. They are very close and share a deep love for each other. It's safe to say that in the show, they both saved each other in different ways. But outside of the set, the relationship is different. They both still love and care for each other, but David is very concerned about Millie. He's afraid that the fame and public attention will get to her head. In a podcast, David said, and I quote, "I have a real worry. I worry about her and the fame and all that she has to struggle with." David revealed this around the same time that Millie was facing a number of scandals, which we will be talking about next. In our 8th spot, we have Hunter Echo. Now, this is one of the scandals that I was talking about, and it's probably her biggest one. In July of 2021, during a live stream, Hunter Echo drunkenly admitted that he groomed Millie and that he did acts with her. Millie was 16 at the time, Hunter was 20. The age of consent is 18, but Hunter argued that everything was consensual and Millie's mom and dad knew everything. He even said that he lived in her house for 8 months. Still, the relationship was very inappropriate. And later, Millie's team said that they are taking action against Hunter and his claims as they were dishonest. Either way, Hunter had some nasty things to say about Millie. In the end, he got himself in big trouble instead of exposing Millie. In our 7th spot today, we have Drake. Now, this is another pretty weird controversy that Millie was involved in. It all started when it was revealed that Drake and her were pretty close and that they were frequently texting each other, which is weird because of their age difference. Like, Drake's in his 30s texting a teenager. And fans pointed out that Drake met one of his exes when she was a teenager and then later dated when she was of age. Anyways, according to Drake, Millie has a lot of boy trouble that he helps her with. Even Millie admitted in an interview that Drake helps her with her boy drama. When asked about what kind of boy drama, she said that it stays in the text messages. In our 6th spot, we have the stardom. Another tabloid revealed that Millie is having a hard time handling her stardom. They said, and I quote, "Millie has turned into a rude star and is unable to handle the stardom on her own." There are multiple videos of her interviews where people declare that Millie never leaves a chance to be in the spotlight and always interrupts her co-actors, which shows that she is being selfish and arrogant. End quote. Now, we will be talking about these interviews later on, but it is true. Whenever the Stranger Things cast does have an interview, Millie always takes the lead, preventing her co-stars to get a word in. And when they do talk, she often cuts them off and takes over the conversation, leaving them pretty annoyed. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with her behavior. According to some sources, Millie has already become a diva. Apparently, Millie's attitude was fine during Stranger Things season 1, but as soon as she got all the attention, her attitude changed. She started trying to behave more adult-like for the press, and a lot of people aren't here for it. In fact, she has been called cringy for it. It also makes it hard on set if she thinks she's top tier and the best. In fact, some people have labeled her as one of the most annoying actresses. Coming in at number 4, we have Jacob Sartorius. The two dated in 2017 for a few months. Millie said that when they broke up that it was mutual, but it seems like Jacob was pretty hurt over their breakup. In fact, he apparently wrote a number of songs about Millie, including the song We're Not Friends, and the lyrics definitely call her out. Some lyrics go as so: "You're bad at seeing signals, girl. I've never introduced you to a single girl. And everything I do around you is on purpose, putting in the work for ya, hoping that it's working. I spent about a year just playing my part. I'm picking up the pieces to your broken heart." He also goes on to sing, "Girl, I want to give you more than good advice." Yikes. Jacob? Yikes. Who knew Jacob had it in him? Coming in at number 3, we have Sadie Sink. Now, according to Millie Bobby Brown, Sadie Sink is one of her closest friends. However, there have been a number of incidences between the two that make us think that Sadie isn't the fondest of Millie. First off, let's take a look at this clip from an interview with the Stranger Things cast.
Because I mean, it was fun, but like, because Sadie got to see how like crazy I am when I'm 11. Like, I'm just like, you know, always really like deep in thought, and so like working together for the first time was like really fun.
I feel so sorry for her. Like, look at how walled up and awkward she gets when Millie cuts her off. And if you watch other interviews, she continually does this with Sadie, and Sadie's face says it all. In our second spot today, we have Caleb. Now, during the same interview, Caleb, who plays Lucas Sinclair on Stranger Things, I guess noticed that Sadie wasn't talking and kind of shied off. So he kind of called out Millie and asked Sadie if she wanted to say anything.
Sadie, do you want to talk?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Sadie, you guys set it off.
Had he not said anything, Millie would have just continued to talk the whole interview without letting Sadie get a word in. And in our number 1 spot today, we have Caleb Part 2. During the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards, Sadie, Caleb, and Millie went on stage to accept the award for Stranger Things. And well, take a look at how that went.
And obviously, you guys. I mean,
Millie literally couldn't wait her turn and prevented Caleb from saying anything. After which he kind of just gives a look like, really? Really, Millie? And it was captured all on live TV. Also, Millie doesn't even turn to apologize or anything. I don't even think she realized that he tripped in the back.